Hey everybody, it's Mr. Haskell, and I'm back with more things that you should know by being alive. And today I want to take some time and talk about the Emancipation Proclamation. I want to, cover its context, its content, the limitations, its impact, and then also its legacy. So let's look at the Emancipation Proclamation. So let's give some Civil War context first, right? So by 1861, the United States was at war with itself, and the Civil War began over succession and the expansion of slavery. And by 1862, the Union was struggling to find a moral and strategic advantage. And so Abraham Lincoln initially focused on preserving the Union. And he was pressured by abolitionists, and evolving military needs really kind of brought about this need to address slavery directly. And so you take the abolition and then the needs of the military, and so enslaved people themselves were escaping to Union lines, and this was forcing the issue. It's like, so what's the next step? So, what was the Emancipation Proclamation? The Emancipation Proclamation was an executive order, an EO, that was issued by President Abraham Lincoln on January 1st of 1863. And in effect, what it did was it declared all enslaved people in Confederate states forever free. However, it applied only to states in rebellion, not border states like Kentucky or Missouri. It did not immediately free all enslaved people, and it relied on the Union military and Union military victory for enforcement. So it was a military measure that was effectively aimed at weakening the Confederacy while aligning the war with the cause of freedom. So, let's go back in time here a little bit. On September 22nd of 1862, after the Union's victory at Antietam, Lincoln issued a preliminary proclamation that said, if the rebelling states did not rejoin the Union by January 1st of 1863, their enslaved people would be declared free. None of the states returned. And Lincoln followed through on his promise, right? Now, here's the limitations on the Emancipation Proclamation. It's important to understand what the Emancipation Proclamation did not do. One, it did not abolish slavery throughout the United States. Two, it did not grant citizenship or voting rights to freed people. And three, it did not free enslaved people in Union-controlled areas. Its authority rested on wartime powers, and freedom often depended on the advance of Union troops. As Union troops moved from one area to another in the areas of rebellion, then freedom could be granted to the enslaved people. Now, as far as its impact and its reactions go, the reactions to it, the Emancipation Proclamation shifted the purpose of the war. The Civil War became a fight against slavery, not just a war for union. It prevented European powers like Britain and France from recognizing the Confederacy. Slavery was the sticky wicket there. And it also allowed black men to join the Union Army and Navy. Nearly 200,000 would serve, which aided the Union cause. So for enslaved people, the proclamation was a beacon of hope, which signaled that freedom was possible. Now, while the Emancipation Proclamation was a critical step, it wasn't permanent. Lincoln and the abolitionists knew that a constitutional amendment was necessary to end slavery permanently. And so, the 13th Amendment, which was ratified in December of 1865, abolished slavery in all states, which fulfilled the promise the Emancipation Proclamation began. Now, what's its legacy? The Emancipation Proclamation stands as a milestone in the fight for freedom. It stands as a symbol of moral courage in the face of division. And it also stands as proof that enslaved people's own resistance and pressure shaped policy. It reframed the United States as a nation striving toward the principle that all men are created equal. Now, if we just kind of wrapping this thing up here, the Emancipation Proclamation did not end slavery on its own. But it was a turning point that changed the purpose of the Civil War and reshaped our nation's future. There we go. Hopefully, if you had any questions or didn't know much about it, I may have alleviated that, or I may have just stirred up the mud. But hey, if something did come up for you, hey, like, comment, share, follow, yada, 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 for more things that you should know by being alive. Because, hey, moments like the Emancipation Proclamation remind us that freedom is fought for, not simply guaranteed. Thanks for watching.